13. Harbaugh. Pass is picked off by Bates. There's the guy every year. They're going to get rid of Bill Bates. Can he make it? Can he play anymore? In the right place, he knows how to play this game.
What's good, Car Family? That was Bill Bates. I know a lot of you probably heard of Bill Bates, but may not know much about him or the story of him and the significance of that interception that we just saw to me, and that's kind of what I want to talk about in his career as a Dallas Cowboy. 15 years in the NFL, Bill Bates, and all of them as a Dallas Cowboy. One of the interesting things about Bill Bates, he was undrafted, and every year that he was with the Cowboys, and Bates has been pretty open about discussing this, he felt like he was on the chopping block every year. There was a chance that he gets cut every year. He had to work to make the team every year. Bates came into the league in '83. He was an undrafted free agent. Dallas brought him in. The story goes, Dallas told Bates, if there was a 13th round, you would have been our 13th round pick. And Bates shows up to camp and finds out there's like 60 other 13th round picks that he's competing with to make the team. But he made the team, and found out, I think, pretty quickly, he was slow. He didn't have size, and he found a niche in special teams. And he was that gunner, that relentless, reckless guy that ran down the field and just tore things up. And he was really one of the first true special teamers to really make a name for special teamers. So in his rookie season in '83, Bates was named NFC Special Teams Player of the Year as a rookie. And then in '84, he was voted to the Pro Bowl, and he was the first player to earn a Pro Bowl designation as a special teamer. So that's why I kind of say he started that. And sure, he was a Cowboy. He got a lot of pub for being a Cowboy, and but it was also the underdog thing. The guy that lays it all out there. He said very openly he practiced hard. And he practiced hard because he wanted to show his coaches that, hey, I want to make this team. So I think he's a pretty good story for people to check out, and for a guy undrafted to play 15 years in the NFL is a pretty big deal. So back to that interception, and kind of why it was so special to me is Bates was that Pro Bowler in the early '80s, and then the Cowboys went through those really lean years, and they lost a lot of guys like Bates. They lost the Everson Walls, the Michael Downs, the Dennis Thurman, the Too Tall Jones, all those guys that had been around. They faded away. All those pieces from those '80s Cowboys faded away, and Bates was the one guy, from those Landry teams that stuck in there and was able to stay on that Jimmy Johnson team. So, Dallas went through those losing seasons, the 3-13, the 1-15, and that game versus the Bears was their first year back in the playoffs since really I believe '85. So it was kind of the rebirth of the Cowboys, being in the playoffs, winning a playoff game. And who closed the game out? That was Bill Bates closing the game out with the game-ending interception. So it was kind of neat to me how his career and that story came full circle. And what was even cooler is that he was able to hang on for, 5, 6, 7 more years to play in all 3 Cowboys Super Bowls, end up with 3 Super Bowl rings. This guy that played for those teams in the '80s, he was in those same secondaries with Everson Walls and Dennis Thurman, and to still be there in '95 when the Cowboys were winning that third Super Bowl in the '90s and still be making an impact on that team, I thought was really cool. So he was definitely a player that I admired as a kid. Really just someone that I followed. And I've been wanting to pick up an auto. So I guess we'll show the actual card that I got. I really, really like Impeccable. So I've been grabbing them when I could. As you can see, that's a 18 Panini Impeccable. You see I've got his auto in the background here. Playoff card back here too. But I wanted to pick his auto up on a card. And there you go. On card. Beautiful autograph. Numbered 9 out of 25. I'm not going to pop the lid on it. But you see how sweet his auto is and that beautiful blue ink next to that beautiful Cowboys uniform. Just really can't go wrong with the beauty of the Dallas Cowboys. So there it is. That's my Bill Bates edition. I got it for a really good price. I tell you guys that collect Cowboys, stuff like this can be had very affordable. Cowboys are expensive. They're a hard team to collect, but a guy like Bill Bates, we'll do another guy on my next series that is also affordable. The Larry Browns of the world. These guys were significant in Cowboys history, and to be able to pick up an on-card beautiful autograph of them for in the $20 range, I'll say, and you could get it cheaper if you catch it on a bid, or if you want to buy something that's not on card, you can get it for even cheaper than that. It's really cool in my opinion. So just wanted to share my new edition, my Bill Bates edition, a little history of Bill Bates and some of my own personal memories of Bates. Appreciate you watching. Keep it real. I'm out.